When a woman starts seeing someone else, she won't announce it. She won't come home one day and confess. Instead, she'll shift, little by little, in ways that seem innocent at first. But if you're sharp, if you're truly present, you'll notice. Cheating rarely begins with the physical act. It starts in her mind. It starts with attention, with energy, with secrets. And if you ignore the early warning signs, you'll wake up one day to realize she's not truly yours anymore. Today, I'm going to break down the 6 hidden signs your woman may be seeing someone else. Not the obvious ones most men know, but the subtle, silent ones most men miss. 1. Her time becomes a puzzle. Pay attention to her time. When a woman is fully with you, she shares her life freely. She tells you where she's been, who she was with, and why she was late. But when another man enters the picture, her time becomes a mystery. Suddenly, she has errands that take longer than usual. She works late, but her paycheck doesn't match the hours. She says she was with friends, but the story has holes. If her schedule doesn't make sense anymore, it means her loyalty may not either. 2. Emotional withdrawal. A woman's love is loud, not always in words but in energy. When she's with you, she laughs at your jokes, she argues passionately, she gets upset if you don't pay attention to her. That's because she's invested. But when she starts seeing someone else, she begins to withdraw. The fire fades. She doesn't fight, she doesn't complain, she doesn't even try. And many men think, finally peace. No. That silence is not peace. That silence is distance. That silence is danger. 3. A sudden shift in appearance. Men, hear me clearly. Women don't change their style for no reason. If your woman was once casual but now she spends more time in front of the mirror, buys new clothes, or wears makeup just to go out with friends, be alert. Especially if she's putting in effort at times when you're not around. A drastic upgrade in her looks often means she's dressing for someone else's attention. She may not tell you who, but her lipstick will. 4. Secrets in the digital world. Phones don't lie. If she suddenly guards her phone like a treasure chest, if she changes her password without telling you, if she tilts her screen away or takes calls in another room, that's not just privacy. That's secrecy. Before, she scrolled freely next to you. Now, she jumps when a notification pops up. Before, her phone was just a tool. Now, it's a vault. A woman who has nothing to hide hides nothing. 5. Intimacy changes. Understand this. Cheating doesn't always kill intimacy, but it does change it. Maybe she avoids your touch completely. She gives excuses. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I'm not in the mood. Or maybe the opposite. She's suddenly more experimental in bed, but the passion feels disconnected, like she's practicing moves she didn't learn with you. When a woman is fully yours, her intimacy feels natural. When she's divided, it feels forced, mechanical, or strangely different. 6. The small lies add up. The truth doesn't fear details. Lies do. Pay attention to her stories. She says she was with Sarah, but Sarah's Instagram shows she was out of town. She says she was working late, but her boss mentions everyone left hours earlier. Cheaters often underestimate the small things. They forget who they mentioned, what excuse they gave, and where they claim to be. If her stories don't add up, it's not confusion. It's deception. Now let me make something clear. Not every woman who changes her habits is cheating. Stress, personal growth, or emotional struggles can also cause shifts. But when multiple signs align together, secrecy, emotional withdrawal, changes in intimacy, guarded phone, mysterious time, and inconsistent stories, you must open your eyes. A real man doesn't live in denial. He doesn't beg or chase. He observes. He analyzes. And if the truth is betrayal, he walks with dignity instead of clinging in desperation. Because at the end of the day, loyalty is not demanded. Loyalty is freely given. And if she cannot give you that, then you must give yourself something greater. Freedom, clarity, and self-respect. Intimacy changes. Men, listen carefully. One of the clearest yet most painful signs that your woman may be seeing someone else is found not in her words, not in her phone, not in her excuses, but in the way she shares intimacy with you. Now, understand this. Cheating does not always kill intimacy outright. No. Sometimes she will still lie next to you, still kiss you, still share a bed with you. But what changes is the quality, the rhythm, and the soul behind those moments. Let me break it down. 1. The withdrawal of touch. A woman who is fully yours will seek your touch naturally. She'll reach for your hand without thinking. She'll lean into your arms because that's where she feels most safe. Intimacy flows from her without effort. But when another man enters her heart or her mind, she begins to retreat. She doesn't pull away dramatically at first, it starts subtly. She avoids sitting too close. She turns her cheek when you lean in for a kiss. She goes to bed early, rolls to the other side, and when you reach for her, suddenly there's an excuse. I'm tired. I'm stressed. Not tonight. And yes, sometimes she truly is tired or stressed. But when this becomes a pattern, when closeness feels like a burden instead of a desire, it's a sign her intimacy is no longer reserved for you. 2. The mechanical connection. Here's the other side of the coin. Some women don't withdraw completely. Instead, they go through the motions. She still touches you, but it feels empty. She still kisses you, but her lips don't linger. She still makes love to you, but it feels mechanical, robotic, like she's ticking a box rather than pouring out her soul. This is intimacy without heart. It's a performance, not a connection. And men, you will feel it. You may not want to admit it, but deep down, you'll sense that the closeness you once shared has been replaced by routine. The energy has shifted. The passion has cooled. And even though her body is next to you, her spirit is far away. 3. The sudden shift in desire. But here's where it gets tricky and dangerous. Sometimes, instead of less intimacy, you may notice more. Suddenly, she's adventurous in ways she wasn't before. She tries new moves, new positions, new techniques in bed. And while some men celebrate this change, thinking it's a spark of excitement, others feel something off. Why? Because the passion doesn't feel like it's born from you. It feels borrowed. It feels like something she's picked up elsewhere. The body is alive, but the bond feels disconnected. And men, this is the hardest pill to swallow. Sometimes she's not making love to you. She's replaying something she learned with someone else. 4. The energy behind intimacy. Understand this. Intimacy is not just physical. It's spiritual. It's emotional. It's the invisible energy that flows between two people when they are fully connected. When a woman is fully yours, her intimacy radiates warmth. It feels natural. It feels alive. But when she's divided, when her heart is here, but her thoughts or her desires are with someone else, intimacy becomes distorted. Either it disappears, or it becomes hollow. And no matter how hard she tries to hide it, her energy will always reveal the truth. Listen carefully. Intimacy is not just physical. It is not simply the act of sharing a bed, exchanging kisses, or touching one another. Those are the shadows of intimacy, not its essence. Real intimacy is spiritual. It is emotional. It is an energy field, invisible but undeniable, that flows between two people when their souls are aligned, when their trust is unshaken, and when their hearts are fully invested in one another. Think of it like this. Two bodies can lie in the same bed, but if their energies are disconnected, the room feels colder than ice. At the same time, two lovers can sit in silence across a table, and if their spirits are bound together, the silence feels warmer than 1,000 words. That's what intimacy truly is. Not skin to skin, but soul to soul. When a woman is fully yours, you don't have to chase proof. Her intimacy radiates without effort. It feels natural, effortless, alive. Her touch carries tenderness. Her kiss carries passion. She doesn't just give you her body. She offers you her presence, her trust, her feminine energy that makes you feel stronger simply by being around her. You can sense it in how she looks at you, how she leans into you, how her laughter rings genuine in your ears. But when she is divided, when her body is beside you but her heart, her thoughts, or her desires are wandering elsewhere, intimacy changes in ways most men refuse to notice. Sometimes it fades into absence. She avoids closeness. She flinches when you reach for her hand. She turns away in bed and shields herself with excuses. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I'm not in the mood. Of course, those words can be real at times. Life does bring stress. But when the excuses become a pattern, when her passion evaporates night after night, the truth is rarely about exhaustion. It's about disconnection. Her intimacy no longer flows naturally because it is being redirected, consciously or unconsciously, elsewhere. Other times it doesn't vanish, it mutates. Suddenly, she becomes more experimental, more adventurous. On the surface, it may look like progress, like she's spicing things up. But if you're paying attention, you feel it. Something is off. The body is there, but the soul is absent. The movements are there, but the passion is hollow. It's as if she's practicing intimacy, rehearsing behaviors that were not born from the bond she shares with you. And here's the truth most men overlook. Energy never lies. Her words may soothe you. Her stories may sound convincing. Her phone may be locked, her secrets carefully hidden. But the energy in her intimacy will always reveal the truth. You can sense when her affection carries love, and when it carries distance. You can feel when her kiss is rooted in passion, and when it's merely a ritual. No matter how well she performs, the spirit behind her actions cannot be faked. That is why the wisest men pay attention not just to what she says or does, but to how it feels. If her intimacy once brought you warmth but now leaves you cold. If her touch once drew you closer but now feels like a formality. If her laughter once lit up the room but now sounds rehearsed. Don't ignore it. Don't silence your instincts. Because intimacy is the language of the soul. And when her soul is no longer speaking to yours, the connection has already been broken. Her body may still be present, but her spirit has already walked away. Men never forget this. A woman's energy and intimacy is the most honest signal you will ever receive. It cannot be bought, it cannot be faked, and it cannot be sustained when her heart belongs elsewhere. Learn to read it, and you will see the truth long before the truth is confessed. Men, let me tell you something most people never truly understand. Intimacy is not just physical. It is not simply the act of holding hands, kissing lips, or sharing a bed. Those things are surface level. Real intimacy is far deeper. It is spiritual. It is emotional. It is the invisible current of energy that flows between two people when they are completely open, vulnerable, and connected. When a woman is fully yours, not just in body, but in heart and in spirit, her intimacy has a warmth that cannot be faked. You feel it in the way she leans into you when you hold her. You feel it in the way her laughter comes alive in your presence. You feel it in the way she looks at you like you are her home, her safety, her anchor in this chaotic world. Her touch feels effortless. Her kiss feels alive. Her embrace carries not only passion, but comfort, that unspoken message that says, I belong to you and only you. This is intimacy at its purest form. A blending of two souls, not just two bodies. But here is the truth most men try to ignore. When she is divided, when her heart is here but her mind is elsewhere, when her body is next to you but her desires wander beyond you, the energy of intimacy changes. It doesn't vanish overnight. No. It begins with subtle cracks. She touches you, but it feels shallow. She kisses you, but her lips no longer linger. She lies beside you in bed, but her body is turned away, her spirit distant. What once felt natural now feels rehearsed, forced, or strangely disconnected. And sometimes, instead of disappearing, intimacy transforms into something unnatural. Suddenly, she's more adventurous, more experimental, trying things she never tried before. Some men take this as a blessing. They celebrate it. But a wise man pays attention to the energy behind it. If that intimacy feels out of place, if it feels borrowed, if it feels like it doesn't belong to the history you've built together, it may not be born from you. It may be born from you. It may be learned elsewhere. Here is the lesson. Energy never lies. Words can deceive you. Excuses can distract you. Phones can be hidden. Schedules can be fabricated. But energy always reveals the truth. A woman can force her smile. She can rehearse her excuses. She can try to act as if everything is normal. But when you hold her, when you kiss her, when you share the most vulnerable space of intimacy, you will feel it. Deep inside, your spirit will recognize the shift. Because intimacy cannot be faked for long. The body might play along, but the soul always tells on itself. So men never ignore the energy behind intimacy. If her closeness feels hollow, if her passion feels artificial, if her touch no longer nourishes you but leaves you questioning, don't bury those feelings. Don't silence that inner voice. Because intimacy is the language of the soul. And if her soul has already left you, her body will eventually follow. Final truth. Men, let me leave you with this. A woman's intimacy is the clearest mirror of where her loyalty lies. You can check her phone, you can question her friends, you can follow her schedule, but nothing reveals the truth like the way she touches you. If her intimacy has changed, if it has grown cold, forced, or strangely disconnected, don't ignore it. Don't dismiss it. Don't lie to yourself. Because intimacy doesn't lie. Her body may stay. Her words may reassure you. But her touch, her passion, her closeness, those are the things that tell you the truth her lips are afraid to confess. When she is fully yours, you will feel it. When she is divided, you will feel it too. The only question is, do you have the strength to face it?